Alright guys, welcome back to the Banknote Board Variety channel. Today's video we're going to be doing is we're going to be showcasing our numismatic items that we have gotten, that I purchased on vacational leave. So as you can see, I'm all tan. So while I was down there, not going to specify where I went, what I paid for these coins, or anything else, just simply background history about them and their dates. So we got a couple things here. Spent some money. So I got 3 coins here, as you can see by the front of the video. The thumbnail photo in the video. We have 3 coins here. So we're gonna be starting out with our oldest coin here. So I actually bought these in the other order. I bought them starting with the youngest coin and moving to the oldest. I'm holding right here, but we're gonna start with the oldest. So this here is a Flying Eagle cent. So these were the first small cents. And these were transitioning from the large cents that preceded them. So the very last large cent was the braided hair large cent, which was minted from 1837 to 1857. Now here's where it gets a little weird. This is an 1857 Flying Eagle cent. So you might be wondering, well, how could those cents be minted in 1857 and these be minted in 1857? And then you think, well, maybe they just minted them later in 1857. Well, actually, these were minted from 1856 to 1858. So how could these have been minted before those ones? Well, they weren't. So let me just explain here. So the Act of February 21st, 1857, allowed for the coinage of the new size of cent, and that is known as the small cent. And it's going to be this size. It is going to continue to be this size up until the pennies that we use today, the cents that we use today. So, this cent was made of new copper nickel, but the 1856 cent, one of these, was not an authorized issue. Since the law that allowed for this coin to be coined was enacted after the date of issue for the 1856, I believe that so when that happens in the mint, when that thing happens, that a law that governs a new coin to be made is enacted after the date of the first issue of those coins. That first issue is known as a pattern. So 1,000 regular strikings are made of the 1856 Flying Eagle cent, and then 1,500 restrikes. So that's a very, very small number of coins to be in circulation. So that makes them worth a lot of money. This is probably the most common you can get. It's an 1857. Now there are 2 varieties for the 1858, the small and large letters. We don't need to dive into that because this is a simple 1857. So now that we have our background behind the Flying Eagle cent here, I'm going to showcase this one that we have here and describe its features. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to put a little bit of light on this so that we can see it better. So what we're going to do there, this may not be the best light to use. We can see that there. See the Flying Eagle? That's that. So this is 1857 Flying Eagle. I'm going to estimate that it is in about very good 8 condition, very good 7. which is going to put it at about $25. So, cheaper coin. But since these coins were not made for a very long period, probably about 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 years, these are one of the first. Obviously the first coin that you need to get for if you're going to assemble a typeset of all United States cents, and this is the first one that you would need to assemble a typeset of small cents. So I bought it just for that, because it's just a nice little novelty, and it was going to be replacing the 1874 Indian head cent in my collection already as my oldest coin that I own. So that's a nice little addition there. Our next coin that we're going to have here is going to be this 1862 Indian head cent here. So I have 2 other Indian head cents that I've shown in here, and that's the 1874 that I described way back in my coin collection video at the start of the channel. I'm going to have to use a different light here. Sorry about that. So way back at the start of the channel, I described this, and this was the 1874 Indian head cent that I have, that I found at a penny roll while coin roll hunting a penny box. So that is going to be that there. Maybe a little bite. We're going to fade that out a little bit so you can see that. And then down here is where I bought a little starter collection of 4 coins and 2 bills. This was the oldest coin that came with that, and that's the 1899 Indian head cent. Both these Indian head cents are made out of bronze. This one that I bought here is made out of copper nickel. Now, before I thought it was the other way around. I thought that these ones were made out of copper nickel, the 1864 to 1909 Indian head cents, and these were made out of bronze because copper was needed for the Civil War. Well, it's actually the other way around. The 1864 to 1909 Indian head cents are made out of bronze, and these ones are made out of copper nickel. The 1861 to 1862, or 1861 to 1863 ones, because bronze was in fact needed for the Civil War. So, this is a very nice Civil War piece here. So we're going to get some light on it again. This dates back to 1862, obviously, like I said. And that was during the middle of the Civil War, basically, when it was raging. So this was made out of copper nickel. So these were minted since 1859 and 1909. From 1859 to 1909. So the 1859 was made out of copper nickel. It was made out of bronze. And then the 1861 to 1862 to 1863 ones were made out of bronze, copper nickel, because bronze was needed for the war, like I just said. So the reason I bought this is one, it's from a different era in time. It's from the war, so it makes it even more history rich. And 2, I bought this before I bought the Flying Eagle cent, so it was going to be the oldest coin in my collection. And it's just a nice little Indian head cent to have. Then the back features the oak wreath that will be on this coin all the way up to 1909. The 1859 coins only featured the laurel wreath. This doesn't have a mint mark. None of these coins that I bought do. But the mint mark remains somewhere on the coin, but it switches to the back under the wreath for 1908 and 1909 Indian head cents only. So the last 2 years of issue. So that's that coin. I don't believe I showed the back, the Flying Eagle cent. So that's just this wreath as well. And finally, our last major coin that we have here. And this is in about good for condition because there are no letters in Liberty on the headband readable in the Indian. So it's worth about $5.50. Then we have our 1955 silver quarter. Silver Washington quarter. I did not own any of these currently, and I was not finding any in circulation. The earliest I was finding was 1965 quarters. All they had to be is just one more year back, and they'd be silver, but I wasn't getting that, so I decided to buy one. So these are made out of 90% silver. To be exact, their net weight is, if I can find it here, their net weight, oh, it's not going to be in here, but I think it's like 0.18084 ounces pure silver. So about 90% of the coin, and then the other 10% is copper. So, these were the very first types of Washington quarters. So these were minted as a commemorative issue marking the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, President George Washington's birth. John Flanagan was a New York sculptor. He was the designer, and then they commemorate him by marking his initials on these coins at the base of George Washington's bust neck. So, the mint mark would be below the wreath on the back for coins from 1932 to 1964. This one does not have a mint mark, but starting in 1968, the mint mark was moved to the front below the neck, I believe. Moved to the obverse at the right of the ribbon. So that would be the ribbon in Washington's hair. So, just a nice little silver quarter that I didn't have yet. I can't prove to you that it's silver because I have it locked in here tight, so you can't see the edge, but you can obviously tell because it's 1955. We'll get some light on it real quick here just so you can see some of the extra stuff. Like that. My camera films backwards, so you can't really read stuff, but sadly, but that's just how that is. So that's a nice little quarter that we have there. So those are the three major coins I bought. I didn't buy any paper money or anything. We took a break from that. They didn't have any, but we took a break from that. We got some coins, getting back into the coins. The other two finds that I got here were just finds. I got back in change, a $50 from 1996, just a Kennedy $50 there. Not worth anything, really. And then I got a 1941 nickel back. People who want nickels boxes, they always pull out the 1940s and 1938 nickels and then the 1950s nickels because they're just older and they're getting hard to find. So this one was a 41 and I could just tell it was when I got it back because how worn it was. It doesn't have a mint mark either. The $50 is from the Philadelphia Mint, but this one I'm guessing is just so there's Denver, Philadelphia, and then I forget what the other one was that when it doesn't have a mint mark. Yeah, so just a 1941 nickel. These were made since 1938, so it's only a couple years after issue. So it's nice. I'll just be putting that in the little stock box where we keep old nickels. So that's be it for today's video, guys. So please like and subscribe, as it helps out the Bang Boom Variety channel. And stay tuned for more Resistance Story, which we're going to be moving into. And the reason nobody really watched it, but I deleted the geography videos off my channel because it just wasn't a good setup that I had. And so we'll be doing that again, hopefully sometime soon with a better setup. And also stay tuned for some more things with currency if we get that. And that's going to be it for today's video.